It's another K-Town beat.
YouTube. It's your boy, Mr. Outliner. I know I've been out of there. I ain't dropped a video in a minute. I think about 2 weeks or so or something, man. I don't know. I've been having a lot going on, traveling, dipping, just too much, I guess. You know what I mean? But having fun all together. But I got a video for y'all today. It's a taper fade. Nice little taper fade, man. Nothing too much, you know what I'm saying? But also I got the new Wahl Legends that just came out like 2 weeks ago. And I wanted to just show y'all how these work. Now, the thing about these clippers are the lever opens up like an extra, I don't know, like 0.07 or something like that. Which means that when you normally open a lever on an adjustable clipper, it open up to like about a 1. This open up almost to like a 1.5. So it gives you extra range when fading, which means also you can use less guards in order to create your haircut. Also, when you're using like a 1.5, it can also be like, if you open it all the way up, it can almost be considered a 2, or that in between 1.5, 2, in between 1A and 1.5, like that. So it gives you a little bit more range and ability to do things. Now, on top of this haircut, I use a 1 guard. These clippers are becoming my favorite clippers. I feel like they cut better than the Magic clip for me. They about the same, like power wise as the Magic clip, about close to the same. It's not as strong as the Senior at all, but it does cut through bulk pretty good. It's very quiet. If you want a clipper that's very quiet also, this clipper is quiet. And I didn't realize it, how quiet it is. So if you're looking for a quiet clipper, if you're looking for a clipper that's similar to Magic clip with a little bit more range for fading, this is the clipper for you. Now, to the taper. We always start our taper with our first guideline. We use our detailer. I like to use my trimmers to do it because I want it to be close. I want it to give an effect, right? This is gonna be like a high taper, but not like that. It's a regular taper. I'm just bringing it up a little bit though, right? Then I want to come back and I want to use my Legends, and I want to open the blade up as open as possible, right? I would say just open it all the way up, and but because it's changed, you have to adjust to that also. So you come back after you do that, you close it, knock out the bottom line, and go ahead with your taper. Now the next step, what we're gonna do, we're gonna come back, we're gonna use our 1 guard, and we're gonna try to remove that line that we just made with our guard open. With our clipper open, right? So now we just try to remove that line. So take your time, do that, open, come back, you can close it, try to remove that bottom line. It's probably not gonna remove it, so we're gonna have to take the 1 guard off and use just our blade on the adjustable. And right here, I came back. I used the 1.5, and I'm gonna work my way back down because I kind of still didn't like the bulkiness of it. I wanted to be a little bit more, the transition into the taper to be a little bit more smoother. So I came with the 1.5 and just worked my way back down until I got the transition I was looking for. On this side, we do the exact same thing. We take our trimmer, we make it bob, and then we work our way up and fade and have a nice transition. So we'll use no guard, level all the way open, come back, knock out the bottom line. Whatever line is left, we come back, we use our one guard, go up, open with the level open, fade up, fade back down with the level closed. Then also use the 1.5 to make it transition exactly like we did on the other side. So we know on this side that we need to use the 1.5. The mistake that you made on one side that you realize that you made, you can come back and correct it on this other side. So you'll save yourself time. So sometimes you can misjudge it and the fade don't come out exactly how you want it, but you know after adjusting to it on one side, you know to come back on this other side and do it so everything will line up. Now, the back of the taper is an extension of the sides. A lot of times, I don't really show the back just because it makes the video extra long, but sometimes people are okay with being long. So for people who like to see the back of the taper, I made sure to show it this time. You do the exact same thing on the back, what you do on the sides, right? So you see I got my lever open, I'm coming up, I created my first guideline with my trimmers. I came back and it's open. Now what I want to do is remove this bottom line right here. You see what I'm doing? So I'm removing the bottom line. So now I already have a transition. I have a fade coming up in progress, right? So the sides, the back is just like the sides. Whatever you do to the head on one side, make sure you do it to the back and to the other side. If you're doing a taper, if you're doing a bob fade, drop fade, it doesn't matter, right? Any type of fade that you're doing, just make sure you do the same thing all the way around to stay consistent. Here I'm using a 1.5. The reason why I jumped straight to 1.5 because right here in the middle of his head, in the middle of his neck, it's always gonna be a little thicker right there because it's just not flat. It's an indentation right there, so you have to account for that. So you want to make that smooth. So after I come with the 1.5, now I come back with my 1 guard, and you see how it's coming out. Everything is starting to come together, right? So I did the same steps. I took a little different approach just because I already knew that the bulk area I had to account for it, but it's the exact same thing basically. Sometimes you have to adjust a little bit, but it's still the same guards that I used on the sides. Now, after you're done with the taper, you can come back and get ready to line them up. I use my Wahl detailers to line them up. You don't want to bring it in too much. You just really want to try to stay with the natural line. If you bring it in too far, then it starts looking crazy. But you see, I'm just tapping. This is the easiest place to get a sharp line. For some reason, on the back of the neck, the hair is just a little different. So you don't need anything to make a sharp line in the back. You can barely touch it. It should work. You know, you should be able to get a sharp line. Now to the liner, you want to use my Mr. Outliner Detailing Mist. If you don't got it, I know I'm out of stock right now. I'm waiting on my product to come in and, you know, restock this thing, man. And the restocking is taking a little longer than expected because of, y'all know, all the delays plus the holidays. They're gonna tell you a whole bunch of stuff, so I'm just working with them how they working with me. You know what I mean? So anyway, so after you use the outliner detailing mist to help you create a sharp line, you start from the middle, work your way over, right? That's what we got. You see how crispy that is? You see how crispy that is? Video a little blurry, but it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back and be super crisp like the rest of the video was. But I just worked my way over. Simple, easy, go across the best way you can. Try not to push the line up back. Try to save the edges, the corners. For us, that's where we go bald at the quickest, or thin at the quickest, is in the corners. So in the corners, you gotta be careful, man, right? Gotta work your way to the high side. Make sure you get that side right, and then you can do the other side the same way, right? So this is all I'm doing. I'm just getting this side together. Now, my camera was running low on the battery. So I got this side, I'm doing it, and I didn't get a chance to show you the right side, but I'll still show you the outcome and what happened, right? But you see what I'm doing here? All I'm doing is taking my time. This is not a rush thing that you need to do. Just take your time with the lineup. If you don't take your time with nothing else, make sure you take your time on the lineup. This will complete your haircut. It's gonna complete your haircut, right? You see how crispy that is? You'll see what the mists do. You'll see what the detailers do. You know, these my babies. This combination is sick. Plus, I got some new products coming out for y'all too. So be on the lookout. I'm gonna do a video and you'll see, right? So anyway, again, take your time with it, and everything come out crispy. Look at that thing, crispy. Even when the camera's a little blurry, it's still crispy, right? But anyway, you get the point. You see what it's doing. You see how the taper sit after we do the lineup. It's a version of a high taper, but the high taper don't have the hooks. So, but I still put the hooks there because I don't know what you would call this. Would you call this like a burst taper or whatever? But it's a taper with the hooks, right? With the seat cup, if you want to call it. The beard, we just kind of kept it natural. We didn't really try to do too much to it, you know. Just kept it plain and simple, you know what I mean? With a sharp line. Now, this is where I had to go back, get another battery pack, put the battery pack in. Now you see, I thought when I put the battery pack in, I was still recording, but I wasn't. So, but now you see I adjusted my camera. It's super focused now. But all I did was do that one side, and I came back and I did this side. That's all I really did. That's all it is to it, right? And the lineup came out like I wanted it. It's no enhancements on this lineup. This is all Mr. Outliner Detailing Mist, and also the detailers. My detailers are not zero gap. Again, they not zero gap. It depends on, you know, the pressure that you apply. Are you light-handed? Are you heavy-handed? People gonna say I'm heavy-handed. Cool, but I don't cut nobody up. I don't scar nobody, even when I had my zero gap, right? But I know that I'm heavy-handed, but I know how to adjust my trimmers where I won't cut you, right? So you have to be aware of that when adjusting your trimmers, and also just know, you know, your wrist movement. It's in the wrist a lot of times. You know, it's not just touch and go, and you know, it's a lot more to it. It's a lot perfecting going on here, and I've done this so many times. I know exactly what to do, how to hit the hair in order to make it do what I need it to do, right? So it just takes time to develop that skill and understand what you need to do and how to have things set up in order to be successful. That's with anything doing life, right? But anyway, this is the haircut. This is the taper. That's the lineup. I'm doing the beard. I ain't gonna drag it out with showing you, you know, how I'm cutting this beard because there's nothing spectacular to it. I just really left it in a natural state. But anyway, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. You know how we do it. Also, make sure you go check out my other page, Self-Made Herb. I'll leave it in the description box. I'll be doing vlogs over there. I'll be doing fashion over there, tennis shoes, all kind of stuff, man. You know, check me out on the other page too, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, again, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. You know how we do it. Until next time, love, peace, and hair grease. I'm out.